what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Paul Match TV. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Paul Match TV. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Paul Match TV. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Paul Match TV. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Yeah, buddy, that's right. Get exposure right now. Holler at the homie Paul Mash, man, for Paul Mash TV. Hit up Paul Mash TV across all social media sites, alright? Who we got next? Got next.
Well, hello everybody. It's another episode of Paul Mash TV here, and I'm glad that you could join us. And as you may have noticed, this is episode 300, and we're glad that we made it this far. And we can't thank the fans enough for making that possible. So if you'd like to email us for any reason, whether you want to be on the show or just call us, talk to us as a fan, and even wish us happy 300 episodes long, that's fine. All you gotta do is you can either email us at paulmashtv, all one word, at gmail.com, which obviously is fan mail and band and solo artist information. You can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/paulmashtv. Feel free to like the page, inbox us, and comment on the videos. And speaking of commenting on the videos, you're watching this on YouTube right now, possibly, so just subscribe and hit the bell, and you'll always get the latest info whenever they become available. And feel free to leave a comment on the comment section. And we have a website, and that website will be available during the closing credits, as well as everything we just said. So we hope we'll hear from you there. Right now we have Rebel Messiah, a very awesome band, and we'll be spending a few minutes with them. And we'll get to that in just a second, but first here's a quick word from Click Jam. Don't go away.
Click Jam, all around the world.
One thing I can't do is disappoint my fans. All the people around the world come and join the band. I said I'm happy as I ever been. When all the music comes together and it starts to blend.
All around the world.
All over the globe.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, time for interview again. And with us from Richmond, Virginia, we have Rebel Messiah. Thanks for joining us.
What's happening?
Why don't you start by introducing yourselves?
I'm Tom Chopa. Kevin White, drums.
Ed Savoy, guitar. And I'm KC. I'm on vocals.
Okay. Well, we're glad that you guys can make it today. So why don't we start with the obvious question, because I ask everybody the same question right off the bat, because everyone has their own story. But why don't you tell us a little bit about how you decided you wanted to become a musician, and just as much how you decided to come up with this band. We'd love to hear that story.
All right. Well, just like any kid, growing up, I used to listen to records and, kind of imitate my rock heroes in front of the mirror, and then I used to drive around with my buddies in their cars, listening to, our 8-tracks and stuff, and kind of imitate different singers. And they said, man, you ought to try singing for a band. And I was like, well, I'm just imitating singers. And they're like, no, you need to try. So I ended up just introducing myself to music that way. And ended up joining my first band, and it just snowballed from there. I was in a original metal band in New York called Monolith for about 8 years, and then a couple other various bands in New York, and then relocated down here to Richmond and hooked up with these fine chaps here. So,
Yeah. with me, Kiss was my gateway drug to rock and roll. Discovering them, as a small child, and that led to, Deep Purple and Zeppelin and Sabbath and all that, and then the rest was all. I was pretty much hooked. originally from Connecticut. I moved down to Virginia in '96 to actually get out of music business because I had actually become, disillusioned with it. But it took about 6 months before my wife said, "Get in another band, so I'm going to kill you or divorce you." And then one thing led to another. I ended up having this band Ballistic for a while. And that's when I met actually all of these guys in different ways. I met KC. He said to me one time, if you ever need a singer, look me up. And it took like 10 years for us to make that happen, just because I was always busy.
But we needed a singer, and we looked him up.
Yeah.
Worked out great.
Actually, Tommy, I've known Tommy forever because he actually, I met him through the drummer of Ballistic, and he actually.
Yeah, I was playing in a cover band with Shane Ballistic's drummer, and he stole our drummer.
And eventually we ended up in a band together. And then I met KW here. Actually, he plays in another band that a lot of people might know called Throttle Rod. And they're
17 years now.
They've been a underground rock, almost legendary band at this point on the East Coast scene. And I actually ran sound for them the first time I met KW. And I had to pull everything out of the mix except the vocals. And they were still louder than the PA. I mean, the raw drums and the half stacks, that was when they were a 4-piece. And I was just blown away. I was like, holy shit. And so the minute I got the opportunity to be in the band with these 4 guys, it was just like all the right things, all the planets and stars aligning kind of thing.
Okay.
How about you? How'd you get into this shit?
I grew up in it. My dad was a singer in one of those like beach music doo-wop bands in the 50s and 60s. And we always had bands in the basement practicing. And he thought he was going to make me a singer, which, I mean, I can do it. But wasn't real stoked when he found out I was better on the kit. But I started playing drums. And then he came to my first gig and did the old, okay, I get it. I guess just stick with it. 35 years later, I'm still behind the kit. So I guess that worked out good. I originally started playing music because I wanted to meet girls, but I am absolutely terrible talking to girls. But I'm really good at drums, so I just stuck with that.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a great story, guys. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about some of your influences? I think you mentioned a couple of them earlier. Why don't you, if you have any more, maybe you'd like to share them with us?
Sure. I basically grew up on old school metal. So I liked, as any 12-year-old kid my age, I loved Kiss and I loved the show, opening up the albums and seeing all the, lights and the stage lifts and all that stuff. It was pretty cool. And then, I started getting into Priest and Maiden and all the English bands that were coming over, the new wave of British metal that was coming over, Saxon and all that stuff. So that's basically where my roots are anchored. But, I kind of like, I like stuff like Jim Morrison, and the Doors, and I like Rod Stewart, those guys were a big influence on me as well as metal singers. So that's roughly my influences. They're pretty narrow, but
faces.
Yeah.
People forget faces.
That's right.
Come on.
I mean, Rod Stewart was rocking at one time,
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, those are some good influences there. So, sometimes it's hard to believe that it's been 30, 40 some years since a lot of these bands have surfaced, and it's and sometimes sometimes you forget about them,
Yeah.
And I have to mention also Ronnie James Dio was a huge influence on me, and same with both of the Deep Purple singers, Coverdale and Ian Gillan. So we try to actually incorporate a lot of that sound into our sound. So like Ed said, we wouldn't mind being labeled as, oh, wow, they sound like a new Deep Purple, so that would be very complimentary to us.
I'd wear that like a badge of honor. In fact, we actually covered Space Trucking by Deep Purple on our debut CD, which is out digitally. You can get it just about anywhere. Around like 140 different digital download sources worldwide. But you know, all your favorites like Spotify or Apple or Pandora, whatever it is, Google Play. You know, you look us up, Rebel Messiah. You'll find us.
So we did a remake of Space Truckin' by Deep Purple,
Yep.
and the legend here did an awesome drum solo on it. So it's worth buying the CD just to hear his drum solo.
Yeah.
School of John Bonham A.M.P.s my whole life. So
Yeah, that was probably one of my favorite by Deep Purple was that song, Space Truckin'. I was just listening to that the other day, as a matter of fact. So,
perfect segue.
Perfect segue.
And I think you already answered my question, because my next question was going to be maybe you could tell us how to get some of your stuff, but I guess you already mentioned that a lot of the digital download places have some of your stuff. So, so I guess you read my
just about any place that's got electricity and a freaking internet connection. You can
Apparently, you can ask Alexa to play us.
Yeah.
And she'll just straight up do it.
Yeah, if you got Alexa in your house, just say Alexa play Rebel Messiah, and you'll be hearing, you know, the first song off the CD blasting at you. So
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
it's creepy.
That's creepy.
You know,
Yeah, that's,
like NSA's in the house or something.
yeah, I can imagine. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this music video we're getting ready to watch from Rebel Messiah? We'd love to hear about it. Maybe there's a story behind it, because I know it is original song.
Yeah, so it's a song that I wrote about a Scottish mercenary group called the Black Watch, and so it's a song that I had kind of written lyrics for, and just hadn't really done anything with it. But we got together at one of our rehearsals, and I said, Ed, just give me this freight train like riff, and we just started jamming this riff, and the words just came spilling out, and it fit this song perfectly. So I had a lot of energy, and we all really liked the song. So I think the video may have been one of the shows we did at the Canal Club. We had the honor of opening up for Anvil, and also we opened up.
Top-notch humans, by the way.
Awesome.
Great
Nicest guys you'll
awesome.
ever meet.
So if you ever get to see Anvil, go see him.
Go see them.
And then also we got to open up for the Texas Hippie Coalition.
Yep. Great.
And that was a
Really
real
great
fun
group
gig.
of guys,
So
yeah.
this video
It's one of those.
is from one of those shows. So
But what's really cool about the video, though, is it's a single GoPro mounted to the barricade in front of the stage. So I was really shocked at how clear the audio came out. But basically, it's what it's like being front and center for one of our shows. You know, it's
because it has a fisheye lens, so it's like after a few beers watching us.
yeah,
We look really good. We look really good.
You know, eating the mushrooms that you found out in the field. But no, you know, it's the audio is a good representation of what we sound like live. It's not us to a studio track. It's actually just raw live footage.
Awesome.
But it's technology's come so far. You know, it's crystal clear. You know, CD quality sound. You know, so you know, it sounds good, looks okay. You know, it's kind of yeah. I don't know, avant-garde or something, because the lights were fucking with it. You
It's
know,
very artsy.
yeah, very artsy. Very artsy.
Yeah, it's very artsy.
Is that what it is? Artsy?
Artsy, that's the word.
Okay, and maybe I missed it, but can you tell us the name of the song one more time?
It's called the Black Watch.
The Black Watch. Okay. All right. Well, we'll get to that in just a moment, but I think that's all the time we really need for right now. And we appreciate you guys coming on the show. And if you have anything new to plug one of these days, maybe we'll have you back on. You can do another episode with us.
All right. Thanks for having us, Paul.
We appreciate it. And, anybody watch this, hit us up on Facebook. Let us know you're out there.
Rebel Messiah.
Okay. Well, let's get to that song right now. Here's Rebel Messiah right here on Paul Mash TV. Don't go away.
Black Watch!